Good afternoon, everybody. If you're a developer, use this as a way to monetize your coding skills. And if you're a user, if you're still not familiar with, maybe you learn about extensions and how they can make your everyday business easier. And the last part is a brownie bit for developers about how Zoho can help you build and sell extensions. So let me just get on with the core idea. So as a business grows, a lot of new practices are actually put in place so that the growth actually happens in the right path and direction. A lot of new people are hired to actually cope up with the new workload. A lot of new revenue targets are set. A lot of processes are put in place, rules basically, so that everything has a system of check and balance. And more importantly, as a company grows, a lot of new tools are actually used, new software is used to make things easier and maybe to even automate a lot of things. As a testimony of that fact, I'd like to show you a little report from a recent statistic from a SaaS report called Blissfully. The graph is pretty simple. The bigger the size of the company, meaning the more the number of employees there are, more number of apps they use as a company. So it's pretty linear, it just grows. And the interesting part is a variation of the same graph. This is a statistic for the number of apps used per employee. So if you see here, until an organization reaches the 500 to 1000 mark, the number is almost flat. It wavers somewhere around 8. So I'll just take the liberty to highlight that part, and the plateau is actually seen visibly. So you can see the ballpark figure as 8. So boiling it down to around 8 apps per employee, seemingly good enough. So even though a person uses 8 different apps in their everyday business, it doesn't mean that he or she is doing 8 different things. If I'm a salesperson, I would be using 8 different apps to do one particular thing, to close a deal, to win a deal. It's the same for maybe even a customer support agent or even a developer. You could be using 8 different apps to actually build a particular product. If a person who's using these apps is actually trying to converge 8 different activities to one objective, shouldn't the apps that they use also behave the same way? So there should be some kind of a way where all this data is actually unified to one central point so that it's easy to make decisions. Let me give you a real-time example, sales. So a sales and marketing team of an organization, they work hand in hand. The marketing team generally takes up the lead generation activities like they conduct webinars, they do events, social media, ads, and leads are generated as a result. And these leads are actually forwarded to the sales department in one form or the other. And these leads are followed up. They are actually qualified. Will this lead even work out for us or not? Is this guy relevant to us? And the leads are pursued and the deals are done. So a salesperson should actually get a lot of information from the various marketing activities actually. So leads from webinars or leads from campaigns, leads from SMS history, and they are all decentralized different apps. So as a salesperson, I'll have to switch between multiple apps. I'd be using my CRM to track my sales, and then the next minute I'm actually checking out webinar data from my webinar software, and then I'm going to my campaign app to see if my lead has subscribed to any of my mailing lists. I am actually shifting between tabs and windows, and it gets cumbersome. So what if all of it were unified? What if insights from all these places were actually collected and put in one central place, into one primary app? So which a primary app in the case of sales would be CRM, because that's the place where a salesperson spends his or her time the most. The first thing that someone logs into, the last thing that someone logs out of. So it should be something like this, a central point around which all the ancillary softwares are actually put and data pushed and pulled into each other so that data is actually synced among all these apps. And this process can actually all data at one place and helps you win deals. I mean, that's the final objective, right? So the solution for this problem would be extensions. So with extensions, you can actually integrate all all these apps into your primary app. And I'd like to make an important note here that all these multiple apps need not be Zoho. They could be all third-party apps. Imagine data from third-party apps being synced into Zoho. That's quite seamless, right? Right? It's like almost like Zoho One. Data from third party, but inside Zoho. So when data from other apps actually gets into Zoho CRM over here, you can have a 360-degree view of what is actually happening. You can actually know if I'm looking at this particular lead and I get to know data from third-party sources that, okay, my guy has actually attended this particular webinar. He must be interested in this particular feature. These set of leads have been attending these events in particular. So actually they want that particular thing that was said in that event. So I can tailor my pitch accordingly and it can actually help me grow better. This is a little schematic of how it might look inside CRM. So by default, inside a lead record page or a contact record page, you have by default the name, contact details, organization, details of the organization, the lead owner, and activities like that. But once you integrate other third-party services using extensions, you can actually have an additional layer of information about maybe like what mailing lists have they subscribed to, have they answered any surveys that I've sent them. I can know them better. I can actually tailor my pitch accordingly. So at a glance, this is what actually extensions do. And let me show you a little demo of that. So the demo today is about Ignite. Ignite is a document management system. It's more or less like Zoho Docs. And in the sales process, actually, if I were a salesperson, I would have to share a lot of documents with my leads, manuals, ebooks, help documents, maybe a few contracts even, so that during the process of negotiation, so I'll have to know which lead I sent which particular file, and I should know if I sent a lead a particular file, so basically same, but from two different applications. So yeah, I'll just go on with the demo. So this is my CRM, and I'd go with the contacts page, and you can actually go to marketplace and install the extension. I've actually installed it. I just like to authorize it over here. So I actually authorized it once before, so it just won't ask me what domain or what account from Ignite I want to integrate it to. Okay, if not for an extension, I'll just tell you how it works. So from Ignite, I actually have to share a lead to, let's say, a guy called John Doe, and I create a folder in Ignite. I put all files under that, and just to let me know that I've shared these files to John Doe, and I actually make notes in my CRM. Okay, this file has been shared with him. This file has been shared with him, but there's something still missing. There's a missing link. From my CRM, I still won't know if I shared this in Ignite in real time. So with this extension, we'll see how it works. So this is my Ignite account. So whenever I create, okay, I have a list of contacts over here already. So in my Ignite account, there is this folder called Zoho CRM. And because these are my contacts in Zoho CRM, I can find under the folder of contacts, I can find these three contacts already synced to Ignite. So if I create a new contact in Zoho CRM, and save a new contact, it appears here directly. So if I send John Doe, and once the Ignite extension is installed, you can find a button over here on the top right saying add file to Ignite, with which you can actually send files from Ignite to this guy directly without even having to get out of your CRM. So WS here, and I can actually add my file. Oh, sorry. So it's actually done. So if I go back to my Ignite account and check into this folder called John Doe, I can actually find my file over there. And the corollary of that, if I try to upload a document over here, it gets reflected in the related list down here. So I have both my documents synced. Even if I upload a document to Ignite, it gets reflected in my contact record page over here, or if I send my contact a file from Zoho CRM, it gets reflected in Ignite back there. So it helps me keep a better track of what I'm sending to each of them without having me to switch between tabs. And with an integration like this, okay, things get quicker. I need not move between tabs, so I can make decisions quicker. Okay, I've sent this guy 3 documents, so actually, so he must be knowing this much. So let me just go on with it, or just let me just leave. I can make a quick decision, and absolutely, it's extending context right from Ignite into CRM, and because there's no manual import or export, there's no room for error over here, and to sum it all up, it's a lot of time saved and it's convenient. And for developers, this is how we've made this extension. It was made by us. We use the Zoho developer, the Zoho CRM platform, Zoho developer to do this, and the authorization was done using OAuth 2.0 connectors, and we used JavaScript SDKs to finish off the UI, which is the related list at the bottom and the button at the top. So that's how we did it. And I'd like to show you a couple more examples. More than CRM, a product like this could be used across your organization. Let's say if you're using a couple of Zoho products and a non-Zoho product, they can still fit in contextually. So this, okay, the next example is about Zoho Mail. A mail and a document management system would be, okay, the use case would be to send attachments, to send and receive attachments. If you're sending someone a mail, you don't have to, and you're using Ignite for your document management, you don't have to go there and download the file and upload it again. You can simply use the mail extension and link it over to your mail. So mail in Zoho Mail in the bottom right, you can actually find a plug icon, which on clicking gets you a new sidebar where you can find whatever extensions you can find and download. So you have Ignite in that list, and once you click it, it will prompt you to the search bar. So in this mail, actually, the text is about the person sending some print material. So I'm searching for the brochure, which I find over here. So from the search results, I can either download them or preview them. So and the extension actually gives us an option to either share it as a link or share it as a document itself. Also, you have some advanced options like you can set up, if you're sharing it as a link, you can actually set up access settings. You can either set a password, you can share it with everybody, and you have a couple of other options as well, which you might require while sending a document. And I've just clicked a few, and on clicking share, I've shared this as a link, or if I had chosen share as a document, it comes as an attachment like this. And also, if you have a mail that has come to your inbox, which has attachments, okay, you can actually, and you open the sidebar, the attachments actually show up on the sidebar as well, which you could actually directly send to your Ignite account. And we have the extension for desk as well, which has a similar use case. If you're sending a customer a ticket when you want to attach a file, you can use the sidebar to do the same, attach a file or the link, and you can also store any attachments associated with the ticket can be put into Ignite. We have one for projects as well, where you can associate any file to a project. I'm showing the same example. So you can associate more files. And the advantages for all these are, I am just summing it up. You don't need to shift between tabs. There is no new UI to be learned. If you know how the product works, it's just a little more, you just need to press a button or so. And you don't have to learn any new development stuff, you don't have to set up workflows. You just plug and play. Go to the marketplace, find you want, and come back. Use them. And 90% of extensions in the marketplace are free. So it's just more. You're just paying for Zoho anyway, so you can get more out of your Zoho investment. And why are we doing this? Why is Zoho even doing all this? The big picture. So we've come a long way by building products. So our products have turned into platforms which could be customized by developers, and now we are on the verge of creating it into an ecosystem where producers, who are the developers, and consumers, who are the users, can interact with each other uh, and get their stuff done. A user could actually go and tell, okay, I need this stuff done. Could a developer help me? And a developer actually comes in and says, okay, I'll do these things for you. So we want to promote an ecosystem of that part. And what's in for Zoho is that we'll have more takers for all these extended products. We just want to grow beyond our own family of Zoho apps, and we want it to be a win-win situation for everybody, for Zoho partners as well as users. And that's why we have the Zoho marketplace, which is the largest listing of Zoho apps and extensions available. We have around extensions for 12 products right now, excluding vertical CRMs, which are also hosted. And we have more than around 500 extensions across various apps in the marketplace. These extensions encompass a lot of categories. We have sales, support, collaboration, extensions for every possible category available. And we're not limited to any segment of audience. We have enterprise levels extensions as well, like IBM Notes and MS Exchange extensions. And we have all the popular ones like MailChimp, Trello, a lot of them. You can actually browse them at marketplace.zoho.com. And what the value here for partners is, you can actually tap into our 45 million user base. You can actually find new avenues to actually grow and get user requirements, develop for them. And if you're a freelance developer, you can actually build your brand atop Zoho, which actually a couple of them are doing with the help of Marketplace. And for partners, this could be a way to increase visibility to your Zoho practice as well, more than reselling or consulting, becoming a marketplace partner. So how we help you is discuss use cases, contemplate upon them, find the right ones, tweak what you have. And all through development, we offer you tech support on our platforms. We actually create click channels so that you get the questions answered right away. And at the end, we also do some GTM planning so that you get a head start in the market, so that your product actually goes well. So that's why, end of the day, we want a big ecosystem of apps, products, developers, and users coexisting with the marketplace, so that all of us benefit with that.